guys, welcome back to your professional diploma in fitness and weight loss, and we're into practical 1 of module 3, which is all about workouts, placement and intensity and how to judge it. But before we get stuck into the lesson, guys, give me a quick yes or hello if you can hear me, and if not, hopefully you're typing no so the support staff can help anyone with any audio or visual issues. So what are we going to be covering today in the practical? Well, guys, the first thing we're going to be covering is the magic zone and the dark place. And you've probably seen this before when it comes to in module 1 and module 2 where we talk about it. But it's a very easy way of understanding how to judge your own intensity and really how to judge working in the correct energy systems. Because what we're looking to do is work between our aerobic and our anaerobic energy system the majority of the time to get the results that we want long term. And knowing what the magic zone and what the dark place is will help us do that without having to have a fitness tracker or tracking our heart rate or any of that kind of stuff. Then we're going to look at the placement of workouts. So if you're a beginner, intermediate, advanced, how do you actually plan and schedule out your cardio workouts, your strength workouts, or maybe your high intensive interval training strength workouts if you're doing more circuit formats like we looked at in module 1 and 2. And then lastly, guys, we're going to look at some examples of all of those types of workouts placed in throughout the week. So let's get stuck in. When we do any workout or any HIIT workout, we're looking for 3 things. The first couple of rounds is phase 1 and phase 2. So really the first round should be really easy. You're just warming up, you're just getting used to the movement. Second or third round, a couple of minutes in, might start to get a little challenging, but no big deal. And what we're looking to get to is the magic zone in our work periods. So where it's tough, it's doable, we're out of breath, we can feel the muscles working, it's challenging, it's definitely working higher than our normal heart rate, but it's not absolutely killing us. We want to avoid the dark place, where we're completely out of breath, dizzy, nauseous, feeling sick, and just not enjoying our workout. So we're trying to stay out of the dark place and stay in our magic zone. Okay? So it's really important. Essentially, you should be enjoying your workout. Especially if you're new, then you're going to be sticking between, when your work period, your 30 seconds of work or 60 seconds of work, you're going to be around here. In your rest period, you should be dropping back into this. Okay? So that's essentially how it works. It's between those 2 stages. Okay, perfect. So that is essentially what we're aiming for, guys. I can't say it enough, and I'm going to say it probably about 50 times here. The magic zone, the enjoyable but challenging part of working out. It's not completely excruciating pain, but it is tough. Tough, doable, and we're enjoying the whole process. How do we plan our workouts? Quite simply, guys, I'm going to give you how to program your HIIT strength, how to program your HIIT cardio, and essentially you're going to program what suits you best. I always say try and get 2 HIIT strength workouts or 2 strength workouts in a week, up to 4 when you're at intermediate advanced stages and looking for specific results. Always choose a suitable exercise version from the exercise library. Again, anyone new this month, in your bonus video section, there'll be 30 to 40 bonus videos on all different exercise progressions of different exercises. So, you know, if you can't squat yet, you might be box squatting or air squatting or whatever it may be. When you're doing your HIIT cardio, it's anywhere between 1 and 5 times per week. And we're aiming for between 4 and 5 workouts per week. So if you do 2 strength, 2 cardio, if you're getting 5, brilliant. I find most of the time, look, you're not going to get 5 every single week. But if you're getting 4 a week, that's major. Yeah? So 4 a week and you're doing great. Okay, so that's what we're planning. We're aiming for maybe 2 of these. So 2 of these. And we're aiming for probably 2 of these starting off. And if you're an absolute beginner, I'm going to go through that now. All right? So let's get stuck in. If you're coming from diet and weight loss or nutrition or sports nutrition or any of those courses and you haven't been training at all, you haven't done any type of exercise whatsoever, well then, you may just start with a month of HIIT cardio. Okay, you may just start with a month of HIIT cardio, especially if you've never done strength training before, if you're not familiar with strength training, if you haven't done the theory on strength training that we did on the foundation course on the Diploma in Health and Fitness, and you're not familiar with it. So what you might start with is a month of HIIT cardio, okay? Now what I recommend is 4 10-minute workouts your first week. Okay, so count your weeks as Thursday to Thursday pretty much, because your practicals will always be Thursday. So you're aiming for 4 10-minute sessions. So if you did one today, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, something like that. Yeah? So 10-minute HIIT cardio. Don't worry, I'm going to go through how we're going to program our HIIT cardio now. Maybe the second week then you aim to, where's my pencil gone? I can never find it. Oh, there we go. Then you might aim for 12 minutes in the second week, guys. Then the third week you might aim for 15. And then the fourth week you might aim for 20. So over 4 weeks, you don't even have to worry about HIIT strength. All you're doing is trying to bring up your high intensive interval training cardiovascular response with a number of different exercises. And I'll go through that with you now. You don't have to do the same workout 4 times. You can mix high intensive interval training cardio with any exercise you want that gets the heart rate up and works the muscles a little bit. Sound good? Are we all good with that, yeah? Okay. How do we program high intensive interval training cardio? And don't worry guys, those of you that know this already, we've lots of new exercises today. Alright, so we're going to go through a few different variations, and I want to talk about intensity a bit more, and I want to talk about what you should be feeling at the end of the 30 seconds work, and then what you should be doing in your 30 seconds rest. When you're programming any type of HIIT cardio is high intensive interval training cardio. High intensity interval training. So high intensive interval training is essentially we're going to work for a period at fairly vigorous effort. So we're going to work for maybe 30 seconds. And when you're a beginner, you might rest for 60 seconds. All right? So your work period is 30 seconds and you might rest for 60 seconds. Okay? Then our medium interval maybe is 30 seconds work. So event we want, skipping, burpees, squat jumps, star jumps, hill jumps, running, whatever you want. All right? And then rest period, of course, 45 seconds. What we want to be aiming for is a 30-30. I'm a big fan of a 30-30 and beyond. So if you can do a 30 seconds work, 30 seconds rest, and get the intensity right with that, you will never struggle with finding enough challenging exercises, because 7 years in, trust me, I can find an exercise that challenges me for 30 seconds and then I need 30 seconds to rest. So I rarely even go beyond that, because I think if it's getting too easy, it's more about the exercise that you're picking and less about the interval, because a 1-to-1 work to rest interval is pretty intense. I do an hour of box exercise on Friday. Does that count as HIIT? Box exercise, it depends on how intense it is, obviously. High intensive interval training is specifically vigorous effort. So if you're doing consistent aerobic work or consistent work for like 5 or 7 minute periods, then it's probably more aerobic, because we can't do any more than 3 minutes if it's high intensive interval training, because we're working our anaerobic energy system. And we will go into that later on in the month in the practicals when I talk more about programming. But essentially, you know, your work period should be no more than 30 or 40 or 50 seconds. If you can do more than that, I mean, it is kind of HIIT, but it wouldn't be quite as effective as those short work periods. But if your box exercise is doing that kind of 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off, 30 seconds on, 60 seconds off, yes, it counts as HIIT. Our star jumps like jumping jacks. Yeah, they're just a bit more intense, John. Big jump and star jump as opposed to the easier jumping jack, yeah? I'm going to get stuck into a load of the exercises anyway. Now, when I talk about your work period, this is what I want to talk about today, because sometimes I don't get that in depth on the work period. I want to talk about intensity work period. I want to talk about how we should be feeling in our work period. I want to talk about concentration in our work period when we talk about HIIT cardio. Okay? Now, just actually for beginners, actually I meant to say this. If you're absolutely brand new, 3-minute rounds is perfect for HIIT cardio, Lee, yeah. So, Lee Rose. So if you're doing 3-minute rounds and then resting, yeah, it's high intensive interval training. Up to 3 minutes is HIIT. Past that is more just aerobic work. Now, let me just grab what I'm looking for is the YouTube channel that we use it on the foundation course. Anyone not coming from the Diploma in Health and Fitness, I have already kind of perfectly programmed workouts on a YouTube channel, and they'll be in your toolkits as well. But there's the YouTube channel, but I'll also be putting them in your toolkits. Now, they have 4 different workouts on that, okay? Now, the first one I always recommend to somebody who's never exercised for 10 or 15 years and have maybe injuries and issues and they're not sure what's going on, stick to something very, very low impact like our, pointer options. Like, 30 seconds. Mute myself there. So essentially I have this workout all coached for you. So it counts down your start time and your rest time, and then I coach you through the exercise. So it counts down your 30 seconds of rest or before you start. I'm coaching your shadow boxing, so jab, cross, and kick. We're going to do that for 30 seconds, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to follow this video, put it on the TV or your phone, whatever it may be, and when it counts down 3, 2, 1, you're going to get stuck into your first round, okay? So it's jab, cross, and kick. So if you've never exercised or haven't exercised for 3 or 4 or 5 years or 7 years or 10 years and you've been inactive, start with this workout. Jab, cross, kick, jab, cross, kick. If you can't do the kick, just do jab, cross, jab, cross, jab, cross. Just get the heart rate up a little bit, 30 seconds. I coach it all the way through. You do it with me. And then once we get to the end of the 30 seconds, keeping the abs tight with the kick, the timer kicks back in, okay? So 30 seconds, you can get that knee if you can't do the kick, and then your timer comes back in for your 30 seconds rest. So you work when I'm working, you rest when I'm resting, and I introduce each exercise as we go in, yeah? Pretty simple, pretty easy to follow. So if you're absolutely brand new beginner, I will have them in the toolkits, but also they're on the YouTube channel there, which you can get stuck into straight away. All right? And I coach the whole thing over the video. So that's a case of getting into a routine, getting into the groove of it, and getting stuck into it. Okay? Now, there also is kind of more intense versions of that. So
okay, hi guys.
Oh, there we go again. So again, if you're already at a decent enough fitness level, then it's the same. It's counting down into something like jump rope. And we'll do a jump rope workout. Again, you can follow it along for the full 10 minutes. So there's a load of workouts up there. There's a mountain climber one. There's a jump rope one. There's a jumping jack one, and there's a shadow boxing. So kind of intermediate, beginner, intermediate, advanced type thing. Depending how intense you go with your jump rope. All right. What's the name of the YouTube channel? Raina, I just put it into the broadcast section. It should have popped up in your window. If you click your little question box, it should pop up in there, and you can copy and paste it in. Sound good? So guys, those videos are there for anyone starting off from maybe one of the other courses that didn't do Diploma in Health and Fitness, and they just need a month of HIIT cardio. All right. Now, before I move on to more advanced exercises and different stuff that we may be able to do, is there any questions on that? Can we alternate legs for kick? Of course, yeah. Alternate left, right, left if you want. Of course, yeah. So what I would do though is do your 30 seconds jab, cross, kick on your left, take your 30-second rest, and then 30 seconds jab, cross, kick on your right, 30 seconds, and back and forth for the 10 minutes that are there. Jonathan, I was going through the study notes and noticed MBM4 notes aren't there. Yeah, John, I said it. Sorry, I said that at the start of the lesson. So I've changed a lot of the material in that lesson, and then actually with this semester. So I'm currently updating the summary notes for lesson 4 and for this semester summary notes. So I'll hopefully have them finished off by the end. I'm not here tomorrow because there's a bank holiday Monday, and I'm in Monday. But I'll either have them up. Lesson 4 up by the end of this evening. If not, then everything's going to be up Monday. Is that okay, guys? Like, the slides are there, but just the notes take a little more time because the notes have to sit there, write a lot of stuff in reference to the slides, and then kind of edit it up and make it look nice and pretty for you guys. So it takes me a bit of time. Is that okay? Like, they're not urgent, guys. We don't have any final assignments or anything like that. I'd rather get them as good quality as possible than just throwing up rushed work, you know? I wasn't massively happy with the way they were previously in previous months. Now, let's get stuck into some different exercises. I get a lot of questions about, look, I want to get stuck into jump rope, but when I do jump rope workouts, but they're causing me issues on my knees, my hips, and my back, and I'm getting pain and stuff like that. And if you haven't done any jump rope for kind of a long time, or maybe it's because it's a medium impact exercise, what I do recommend is we do a little bit of a side to side, okay? So if you even did a couple of these 10-minute workouts over a week period, or bring these into your routine for a couple of weeks, these will help you get used to the impact of jump rope, and then you can start with your jump rope. So this is just a simple side to side variation. Now this isn't supposed to be a crazy intense workout. It's supposed to develop essentially the impact and the muscles, the smaller muscles around your joints, to get used to the impact of jump rope. So the side to side is pretty simple, and it actually teaches you the boxer skip as well, which is great. So you're literally just going to, as you can see, keeping the abs tight, and I'm literally just hopping side to side, okay? So I'm trying to get the both feet off. If you look at, sorry. Am I on the right one there? Yeah. If you look here, if I can pause it, I'm pretty much off both feet at the same time. So side to side. This is a good drill before you start using a jump rope, because it will allow you to develop essentially the stability in your knees and hips, and it'll stabilize the muscles so they don't feel strained. A lot of people can strain themselves if they start jump roping straight away. The other thing I'll say is don't start jumping rope every single day. Start off a couple of times a week, and then you can bring it in a little more regularly. So when I started off, it was 1 or 2 times a week, and I really felt it. I really felt it in the knees. I really felt it in the kind of the hips, and I was a little stiff and it was a little twingy, but I did get through it. There was no major pain. Now, if you do have any impact injuries or issues with impact-related exercises, jump rope's probably not for you. And I always say over 50, you have to be careful of your impact, guys. If you're 45 or 50 and you haven't exercised for a long time, or maybe you're overweight at that moment, again, that may cause you problems. So just, guys, be very comfortable with the exercise you're starting off with if you're new to exercise, yeah? That makes sense? Rain, jump rope for how many minutes? So everything that it's a good question, Rain. Everything that I'm explaining right now, I'm going to go back to this slide. What we're going to do is, and I'll explain it a bit better, we're going to work for 30 seconds, and then we're going to rest for either 60, 45 seconds, or 30 seconds. If you can work for 30 seconds and rest for 30 seconds, and do that for between 12 and 20 minutes, that's your entire workout. So you're going to jump rope for 30 seconds. Then immediately after that, you're going to rest for 30 seconds by walking around a little bit. And then you're going to repeat that 10 to 12 times. That will give you 10 to 12 minutes of a workout. And you're going to repeat that 4 times a week on top of increasing your daily activity. That makes sense? So every single exercise I show you today is a HIIT cardio. So we're working around a 30-second work period and a 60, a 45-second, or a 30-second rest period. Belinda's saying, I feel like my abs for days after. Oh, definitely, yeah, it's a big, that's why boxers do it. It's a big core exercise as well. Okay, perfect. It was a great question, Rainy, though. Any questions like that, pop them in there, because obviously if people aren't, used to these tables, and I didn't spend a huge amount of time explaining that table, then I'm happy to explain through it again. That's what the practical sessions are for, guys. I don't fill it with a huge amount because I know I'm going to get questions. So we've done our side to side there, guys. That's a good drill. That's a good drill for getting used to our jump rope. And then also standard jumping jacks. So if you're brand new to exercise, one of the best exercises you can do, like medium impact, is jumping jacks. 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off for 10 or 12 minutes. Buddy of mine, he hadn't worked out for a long time, and he started doing this a few weeks ago when I posted it. I posted a simple HIIT workout up into my social media, and he was like, oh, just did that workout, feel great. So again, if you're at a very beginner stage, guys, this could give you a very intense workout. You're going to jump jacks for 30 seconds, rest for 30 seconds. Jump jack for 30 seconds, rest for 30 seconds. I don't know why it's finishing on a blank screen. And that's what we're going to do, yeah? So we're working through a lot of the low impact beginner exercises at the moment, and then I'll get into the more advanced exercises as we go, guys. That okay? Perfect. Okay, so next one, if those 2 exercises are a bit too easy and you feel like that's not getting the heart rate up enough, then box jump squats are good. So box jump squat is essentially a box squat with a jump. Now again, you're trying to soften the impact. So you see I'm just jumping 2 to 3 inches, and then I'm landing on the toes and rolling back into the heels, nice and soft into that seated position. So I'm not dropping straight back down. I am, if I take that up to the top, and if I go slow, I'm landing softly, pushing the bum back to a seated position, leaning forward then, and then driving back up through the heels, pushing through the toes, 2 to 3 inches up in the air, slowly back, and then nice and soft in the landing. So that's your box squat jump. And again, if the first two are too easy, side to side and jump jacks, well then this might give you the next challenge when it comes to your high intensive interval training cardio. Okay? So your high intensive interval training cardio. So this is all your high intensive interval training cardio. John, I'm over 50. If you ever skipped before, it does not take long to get back into it. I started with single unders and I'm now doing boxer skip with every other step with a high knee. Perfect, John. Good stuff. Yeah, I always say just be aware of your impact. John, I mean, you're dead right. But I always say just be very aware of your impact when you're in your 40s and 50s, because if you haven't exercised for a long time, you don't know what imbalances you have in your joints. So your knees and your hips are very susceptible to small tears and even just strains. So it's just a case of when you start off to be very aware of being very comfortable in an exercise and you know, like the discomfort of the exercise should be coming from our heart rate being up and getting tougher a few rounds in, not the first time we're doing it. If the first time we're doing it, it's very, very hard, or there's a pain, then we have to be very aware of that. Okay guys, so next up, look, if the box squat jump's too easy, now we're into the more advanced exercises. Now we're into something like a squat jump. So squat and then jumping straight up. So if I slow this down, so it's a standard squat, okay, so you're landing softly and then you're pushing your bum back, control into it, and then from the bottom, driving through the heels, push through the toes and get off about 2 to 3 inches off the ground, and then nice and soft on the landing. Always try and land as soft as possible. So don't tense up the legs and just land hard. Allow yourself to drop back into that squat. So you can see I drop straight into it. I don't land and then go into the squat. I drop straight in. So jump and then allow yourself to drop straight back down. So you're going to control it, but you're not necessarily going to, you know, stop straight away. So again, guys, you judge where you are in your intensity spectrum. You know, if you're doing the 10-minute HIIT workout and jumping jacks, you know, 8 minutes in, you're breathing heavy and you're close to the dark place, then that's a good enough workout. Shall we do a combination of these exercises together? Right, no, generally with a HIIT, you can, but generally we're just going to pick one exercise. So you're going to pick any exercise as your HIIT cardio. So if you're doing jump rope, you just do jump rope for 10 minutes. If you're doing squat jumps, you'll just do squat jumps for 10 minutes. If you're doing hill sprints, you'll just do hill sprints for 10 minutes. For 2 reasons. One, if you're doing a load of different exercises, it will be hard to judge your intensity unless you're at that intermediate advanced stage. So you're going to generally pick one exercise. The second reason why we're doing one exercise is to get better at that one exercise. So the first day we do it, we might do jumping jacks. Then our second HIIT cardio of the week, we might do squat jumps. Then our third HIIT cardio of the week, we might do mountain climbers. Then our fourth HIIT cardio of the week, we might go back to jump rope. So essentially, you're going to pick one exercise, 30 seconds work, 30 seconds rest, between 10 and 20 minutes. Go through it, get your heart rate up, find your magic zone, get the benefit of the increased energy, feel good, and then that's it. That's your workout done for the day. Sound good? Perfect. So I'm just going through all the different variations, guys. I'm going through all these different variations because essentially we're beginner, intermediate, advanced. We're all different levels. And I want to give you lots of options on the HIIT cardio because some people are like, oh, what can I do for my HIIT cardio except for treadmill? So I want to give you all these options. As you can see, this was just one day I went outside with my my camera and I did about 11 different variations of stuff. So this is 11 different workouts essentially. So many different workouts which get different types of muscles involved, your heart rate up differently and so on. So next one into our standard jump rope. So I have a few jump rope ones here, guys, and then I have some very challenging exercises at the very end. The jump rope, we're going to go regular bounce, then we're going to go boxer skip and a few others. But how you start off is just a regular bounce. It's called a single under or regular bounce. So what you're going to do is, you don't have to go get an expensive jump rope. You'll pick up one of these boxing speed ropes for like $5. like $5 online, or probably in your local sports store they'll have them for real cheap. I picked this up for €4.50 and I have two of them, one in the car, one at home. So I can get it if it happens to be out in the car and it's a nice day and I have my gear with me. I can have a bit of a workout, and I always bring it to work, so have it handy. But regular bounce is very simple, guys. What we're going to do is, you can see I'm only jumping about 2 to 3 inches off the ground. My elbows are pretty tight and I'm spinning the wrists. So all the movement is in the wrists. Now I'm trying to find a nice rhythm, nice tall upright stance, and just nice and steady. So a speed that suits me to get that. If you trip up on the rope, it's no big deal. You're just going to recover and get back started again. But the big takeaways here, guys, and I'm going to play the clip again. The big takeaways here when it comes to your boxer skip is, when it comes to your regular bounce, is 2 to 3 inches off the ground, elbows tight, and spin with the wrists. And just get into that routine and develop that skill. It will take you time to develop the skill. You'll mess up a lot. It's no big deal. Again, we have to develop these skills. It's like learning an instrument. Look, I'm not going to give you a guitar and you're not going to be playing like Slash tomorrow. So we're not going to start working out and be the best at every single exercise that we can possibly be. Some of them we're just going to have to get good at. Yeah? And it's about really enjoying getting good at them, enjoying the practice. And that's why I always say it's so important to enjoy your workouts. And it's so important to really concentrate on your workouts. So lastly on this, guys, upright position, jumping 1 to 2 inches off the ground, and try and find that rhythm that you're not tripping up on the rope. And make sure the rope is, the actual rope is the right size for you. So if you stand on the rope in 1 foot, you should be able to bring the handles just up to under the armpits. If it's too high, it's too long. If it's too low, it's too short. So pick a rope that you can get up to about there if you're standing on it. Generally, about a 9-foot rope will do anyone from 5'8" to about 5'11". An 8'6" rope for anyone under that. And generally, you'll need maybe a 9.5 or 10-foot rope if you're over 5'11". Okay, so there's the breakdowns of that. So once you've developed the regular bounce, you can try the boxer skip. And this is a great one, guys. This lowers the impact of landing on both feet and develops your skill with the jump rope. So this is very similar to the side to side. So if you do the side to side,
it's very similar to a jumping jack.
Actually, sorry, no, it's a jump jack. Sorry, guys, wrong order. Let me do the boxer skip. The boxer skip is very similar to the side to side. So you're going to start with your regular bounce, and then you're just jumping side to side. So just like that side to side motion that we did as developing the muscles for the jump rope, but now we're adding the jump rope in. So if you use that as a development skill, once you get to the boxer skip, you should already kind of have the skill down. And you'll get it pretty quick if you have regular bounce down. Yeah? You'll get it pretty quick if you have regular bounce. You can see I trip up a good bit in the boxer skip here. Was that twice? You just recover. It's no big deal. So nice tall stance. Get the rope spinning, elbows tight, spinning the wrist, abs tight, side to side. Find a rhythm. Pick one spot to look at. Get nice steady breathing in. And then you're going for 30 seconds. Once you develop these skills, guys, I straight back into it even if I trip up. Once you develop these skills, obviously then what you're looking for is if you're 4, 5, 6 rounds into it and you're still not that out of breath, now you're trying to speed it up or go at a higher intensity. So we're not just trying to develop the skills with our HIIT cardio, we're also trying to get a good workout. But sometimes you might have to develop the skill first before you can really develop the actual speed or the intensity of the workout. Yeah? Make sense? Am I jump jacks? Jump jacks. Then we can just do a jump jack as well. So you can do a jump jack. So it's just like a jumping jack, but we're doing it with our jump rope. And pretty self-explanatory. You're going to jump out, jump in as you spin every second jump. Keep the toes in though, so you're not going to jump out as much. And again, it's a good one to develop all that strength in the legs, around the knees, around the hips. And a great lower body, great upper body, great full body workout, guys. A bit of jump rope. Great full body workout. What am I next? Am I single? Yeah, so, oh, sorry guys. We got our single leg as well. So, lastly, to develop that skill is our run in place. Okay, now a run in place we can get real fast with this. So you're going to start regular bounce and then you're just going to go side to side on one foot. The advantage of this is look at the speed I'm doing this now. I can go a lot faster with this than I can with boxer, skipper, regular bounce because of only 1 foot off. So I'm switching very, very fast. So now not only do I have a faster skill, it's a little higher impact, but now that I have the faster skill, I can really drive the heart rate up. I can really get the heart rate up, and I can really use this as a very, very effective conditioning tool when it comes to my cardiovascular fitness, when it comes to fat burning, and all that kind of stuff as well. Yeah? Sound good? Perfect. That's not where I want to go. I'm missing some. Let me grab my folder, guys. So that's all the jump rope variations I'm going to show you for the moment. The reason why I show you them, guys, is because jump rope is just fantastic. Jump rope is just fantastic. So if you are able to get into it, do. Cheap piece of equipment, great cardio workout. It's fun to do, and there's so many variations as you develop those skills. I always say to anyone starting off, try and develop the jump rope skills. It's good fun. Yeah? Sound good? Any questions before I move on to the last couple of exercises, guys? I'm going to have to put these in as players. I forgot to put the slides in. Any questions on that, guys, popping up? There's a good few of you here, and you are all silent. You must be listening to me good tonight. Must be listening to me good. There's nothing major coming in. I'll do this last exercise, and then if any questions come in after that, we'll answer that, because then we're on to our HIIT strength. So we'll answer all the remaining questions on HIIT cardio. Let's talk about bench taps, guys. Now we can do this at home with a chair, or we can do this like out with a bench, whatever it may be. Now these are extremely challenging. They need extremely good coordination, extremely good development of your lower body muscles, and I wouldn't do this unless you're a very intermediate to advanced stage. But these are an absolutely fantastic conditioning tool called bench taps. Now you can do an easier version of these with like a little step, a little Reebok step, or the first step of your stairs to work up to this, but bench taps are very, very, very challenging. So what you're going to do is literally jump back and forth, tap, tap, and tap. Now the coordination needed to literally land and tap is pretty high. So your abs are tight, your arms are alternating with your legs. Look, my arms are literally alternating with my legs to keep my balance, and this drives the heart rate up, guys. This drives the heart rate up. Like, this is an intense HIIT cardio. So if you're intermediate advanced stage and you've been finding the other stuff a bit too easy, throw in some bench taps. You can mix bench taps with burpees. So you can do bench taps, then burpees, then bench taps, then burpees for a fantastic full body workout. Very, very, very challenging. Especially at intermediate advanced stages. So look at just the variation, guys, of all of those exercises. We can use every single one of those exercises for just one HIIT cardio workout. So that's what? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 different HIIT workouts that you probably never seen in a gym before. And you go to a gym and no one gives you them, but these are fantastic. Erica's saying these are great exercises to do while the kids are playing in the park. Exactly. And get the kids involved, Erica, because the kids will kick your ass. They will kick your bum, but they love doing them as well. So like, I'm even trying to get my little 16-month-old now, while I'm doing them, I'm trying to get her used to playing around with me and stuff like that, because I'm hoping to get a few videos of her doing some workouts with me when she's 2 and stuff like that. It'd be good crack, you know. John saying, Jonathan, you do have a nice and good plyometric exercise. Thank you very much. I work on my plyos a lot. So anyone who doesn't know what a plyometric exercise, just very challenging jumping anaerobic exercise. So your burpees, your box jumps, your bench taps, all that kind of stuff. They're very much used in athletic development at that intermediate advanced stages of fitness. And that's what we're really trying to train like. You know, we're trying to become, like, look at kids. Kids are mini athletes. So if we can get as fit as we were when we were kids, we're doing a good job. But kids are athletes. Like, they can do it. Give them that and they'll do it. And they'll try it. So, guys, I hope that explains that. I'm going to go into the next... where's my slides gone? I'm going to go into the next bit, which I'm going to talk a little bit about mixing, okay? So, and you guys that are intermediate advanced stages, you're doing this already, but I want to talk about really programming this properly, and I also want to talk about bringing up your intensity when it comes to your hit strength and a couple of different ways to do it, all right? Rain is saying, tell me about the kids. So say you've already done diploma in health and fitness with me, and you've already done these hit workouts. Now you're going to start to mix your hit strength and your hit cardio. So 4 workouts, maybe 2 hit strength and 2 hit cardio. Ruth saying Little Ireland has lots of fitness gear, Thursday tent, including skipping ropes, kettlebells. Ooh, cool stuff, Ruth. I love getting stuff from there. So cheap. If you guys have Aldi's or Lidl's, look out every few weeks. Great tip, Ruth. Look out every few weeks, or any discount supermarket stores. Look out every few weeks for discounted down gym gear or workout gear, because I have a load. I have kettlebells, jump ropes, workout handles, all that kind of stuff. And you'll see when I start to give you more workouts next week and more development next week in how we do this, how we can incorporate some of that equipment. I didn't want to use any equipment except for a jump rope today because some people don't have them. But you do want to develop your home gym equipment, and I will talk about that in the next lesson. Or you can use the gym equipment if you're a member of a gym. Now, so when you're doing the mixed program, guys, what we all want to get to is a couple of strength workouts a week and a couple of hit cardios a week. And if we're doing a couple of hit strength and a couple of hit cardio and staying active and eating well, guys, we're going to turn into the best version of ourselves. We're going to feel great. I've been doing 2 strength, 2 hit cardio lately, getting fantastic results. Fantastic results. I hit a 105 kilo bench press last night. Very happy with that. It was an all-time PB. In America, that's about 230 pounds, is it? 235 pounds, I think it is. So pretty good. Pretty good all-time PB for me on the bench press. Now, about this table, are these exercises enough? No treadmill or elliptical. Randy, you can do these on the treadmill or the elliptical as well. So if you're doing a hit cardio on the treadmill or the elliptical, again, you're going intensity-wise for 30 seconds very hard, and then as slow as you want to recover for the following 30 seconds. So don't go on a treadmill and just do 20 minutes the same pace or the 10 minutes the same pace. What you're going to do is, if you want to use a treadmill or an elliptical for hit cardio, well then you're going to use the same formula. 30 seconds work, 30 seconds rest. If you need longer rest, obviously 30 seconds work, 45 or 60 seconds rest, and build up to 30-30. But we're predominantly trying to do hit strength and hit cardio because it optimizes our time and we get better results. We get better results from it. Yeah? Make sense? So standard aerobic exercise and standard straight set working out, we do get results from, but just a little slower. So hit strength and hit cardio, they get us really fast results. And they really increase our fitness and they really challenge our heart rates. And I think they maximize enjoyment. Laura says, does yoga fit into either of these categories? Yoga would be more recovery, mobility, and flexibility, Laura. So no, yoga would be, see your active recovery here? Let me see. Yoga will be more your active recovery. So yoga, Pilates, a nice light cycle or hike or walk with friends, that would be more your active recovery. That makes sense? Hit strength, hit cardio specifically we program for. So I've just gone through all the hit cardio, guys. So again, 10 to 20 minutes. Now I'm going to talk about your hit strength. Now your hit strength should be somewhere between 20 and 30 minutes, guys. Okay? So a little longer with your hit strength to maximize results. Now you can start off with obviously 10 or 15 minutes, but we do want to get it up to maybe 20 to 30 minutes. Now you can mix strength and aerobic exercises. I prefer to just use circuits or what are known as supersets. So what we're going to do is we're going to use somewhere between 2 and 5 exercises. We're going to try and do them back to back, and then after we've done maybe 2, 3 or 4 exercises, we're going to rest for either 60 seconds, 45 seconds or 30 seconds. Now 60 seconds is perfectly acceptable. You know, obviously advanced stages you might be resting for 30 seconds. Bikram yoga would be, is Bikram considered a bit of cardio? I mean, it's done in the hot, it's done in the heat, but I'm not sure, it's not really working your cardiovascular system majorly, like strength-wise. I think it'd be more strength-wise than cardio, even with the heat. It'd be more strength. Does jumping on a trampoline count as hit cardio? Amber, anything counts as HIIT cardio if it gets your heart rate up. Yeah, there is trampoline workouts that will get like if you're doing high knees or running on the spot on trampoline, it's just lowering the impact. But if it's getting the heart rate up, yeah, it's considered cardio. But yeah, it's considered HIIT cardio. Will a Tabata fall under HIIT strength or HIIT cardio? Tabata is generally Tabata would be, it depends if you're doing strength or an aerobic exercise. So if you literally just do an aerobic exercise, it's HIIT cardio. If you're doing any type of strengthening exercise, it's HIIT strength. Tabata is essentially just high intensive interval training in 4 minutes. Yeah? But it can fall in either. Like HIIT cardio is essentially you're just doing a cardio exercise. HIIT strength is you're doing a strength exercise. Let's go through the HIIT strength. I was going to say this is actually advanced stages. Most people will be around this for your HIIT strength. If you're doing 2 or 3 exercises, you're probably resting for 60 seconds. This actually is just extremely fit, healthy people. I usually rest for 60 seconds. Now, just strength programming terminology, because I just said supersets and circuit style and drop sets. What we're not using in HIIT strength is straight sets. Straight sets is when you go to the gym, you do one exercise for 10 reps and then you rest for 60 seconds. So you might do 10 squats and then rest for 60 seconds. That is not HIIT strength training. It is strength training, but it's not high intensive interval training. It's not high intensive interval training strength. Okay? It's just strength training. Now it can be very effective if you're a fan of doing your strength training this way, but you're not doing HIIT cardio. You can add HIIT cardio to your standard strength training and you'll still see great results. However, if you're starting from scratch with the Ultimate Body Transformation Program and you want to maybe do your workouts from home or optimize your workouts into 20 or 30 minutes, well then we're going to concentrate on our HIIT strength, high intensive interval training strength. Or it's also known as high intensive resistance training. And this is where we combine exercises. So we might do 10 squats, 10 press-ups, and then rest. That is high intensive interval training strength. Because we're doing 10 squats, 10 press-ups, resting for 60 seconds, and then repeating that for 10 or 15 or 20 rounds. We can also use a drop set. This was always a form of HIIT strength. This is what Arnold Schwarzenegger used to do, where you do 2 sets back to back of the same exercise with a heavy and light weight. So if you do a squat, you might do a squat with 60 kilos, and then you might do a squat with 40 kilos. So you do 10 with 60, 10 with 40, and then you rest. Okay? And then, of course, you can do a circuit style, which is where we're pairing more than 2 exercises. So you do 3 exercises back to back and then rest. So 10 squats, 10 press-ups, and 10 deadlift, and then we rest. Make sense? If it doesn't, don't worry, because I'm going to explain it now in a second. But that's there for you as a guideline in the slides when you look it up. A couple of questions coming in, guys, so I'm just going to answer them. Jonathan, when you were working on your upper body, what exercises were you doing so you could do hands in front of pull-ups? 2 hands in front of pull-ups. John, ask that question again. I don't understand. What exercise were you doing so you could 2 hands in front pull-ups? I don't understand the question. Could you answer that again? I'm going to go through this and then essentially I'm going to answer any questions. So here is an example of a HIIT strength workout, a very simple HIIT strength workout. Let's say we wanted to do a lower body HIIT strength workout. So first of all, we pick the right progression of the exercise. So if we've never squatted before, we're probably going to start off with our box squat. And our box squat, guys...
Go through a few reps. So as you can see Sarah here.
I keep forgetting to push it. Our box squat, guys, you're going to push your bum back, sit down, and stand up. That's it. Push your bum back, sit down, and stand up. What we're looking for is to feel the quads, the thighs working. We're pushing through our heels. We're keeping our abs tight. We can see a nice, if I get a pen here, if I get my pencil here, look at that beautiful straight line in our back. Bum is only touching the seat. Feel the thighs working and then pushing through the heels. Okay? Pushing through the heels. So pushing through the heels, driving through the heels, and then at the top, Bam, bam. And then at the top, full extension. Full extension at the top, yeah? And that is your box squat. If you're not used to squatting, that's what you're going to start with. Okay, that's what you're going to start with. Okay, if you're used to squatting, well then you might move on and do something like a weighted squat, an air squat, or even a barbell squat, where you're going to push your bum back, drive through your heels, and you might be using a certain weight, whether it's 20, 30, 40 kilos. Again, what you're looking for at the bottom, guys, I get my pointer, get my pencil, perfect form, straight back, so good tall posture, abs tight, pushing through the heels, feeling it in the thighs. We shouldn't be feeling it in the knees, no, feeling it in the thighs. One thigh, second thigh, nice straight back, yeah? Understand that? Perfect. So get my pointer option and play the rest of this, driving through the heels, nice and steady, nice and slow. I always say if you can't go to the full range of motion, then you shouldn't be doing this weighted squat. If you can't do the full range, you shouldn't be this weighted squat. So drive through the heels, push down, and so on. John, here we go. A couple of questions. Rainy saying, what's the minimum weight for the barbell for women? If you're in the gym, ask your fitness instructor or personal trainer behind the gym if they have a 15 kilo bar. So the 15 kilo bars are generally the lightest bars that you put weight onto, but also you will find pre-weighted bars. So the bars that already have weight on them that you don't put weight on, they start from usually 7.5 kilos. Don't use a weight obviously until you're ready. Like there's so many other variations. I went from the beginner variation to the advanced variation. Like in the middle of that you can use dumbbells. So if I go to, let me see, instructional video, and I grab another, let's say squat with dumbbells. Squat dumbbells. So you could do dumbbells. So literally you're just holding dumbbells, push your bum back and driving through your heels. So again, nice straight back. And we have the dumbbells by our side. So you're going to work through your progressions, whatever best suitable for you. So that's your first exercise, guys, in your HIIT strength. Say you pick a squat and you're doing 10 reps. And then you go, you know what? I'm going to do a single leg exercise after that. I'm going to do a single leg box squat. So what you might do is assisted. So this is, if you put your heel in front of your toe, you're going to get mainly the work through the back leg. And again, you can work on what's known as a unilateral movement, one leg working at a time. So you do 10 reps on one side and then 10 reps on the other side. Okay? So literally 10 reps, squeezing through, guys, 10 reps. And then as you're finished, you're going to switch on the other side. If this is too easy, when you switch to the other side, you can even raise the foot. And then you can do a full single leg box squat where all the weight now is driving through the heel. All the weight is driving through. So look at this now. Here we go. Now if I grab my pen here, and there's a lot of weight going through one leg here. So again, guys, heel, pushing through my heel. Okay, so knees behind that toe, you can see that. Okay, as I drive up, I'm really feeling that in the bum, really feeling that in the quad. Abs are tight, nice straight back. That's what we're looking out for. Good, tall posture. And then look, I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward, guys, not looking around, looking forward, yeah? So that's what we're looking out for. On that, yeah? So yeah, let's say you do 10 squats and then 10 single leg on the left and 10 single leg on the right. That's high intensive interval training strength because you've literally done 3 exercises back to back because we've done a unilateral movement, and now we're going to rest for 60 seconds, and we might repeat that 6 or 7 or 8 times. It might take us maybe 15 or 20 minutes, and that's a good HIIT strength workout. So you could do 1 lower and 1 upper body, or you could do a full body workout. You could do 10 squats, 10 press-ups, 60 seconds rest, and there you go. Your HIIT strength. Do that twice a week. HIIT cardio. Do whatever ones you want. and then we're sorted. Yeah? Where is my pointer options? There we go. It keeps showing me the pointer options. So, I meant to remove them. That's what I'm doing. Pen, and then erase. There we go. Okay, guys. I think I've covered hit strength and hit cardio pretty good there. So, is there any questions? That's 53 minutes. Whoa! Time flies when you're talking about exercise. So does everyone make sense of that? So if I go back to our plan at the start, what you're going to do is you have, it's question time now. So we have so that's your checklist, all right? That's your checklist. And then that's our workout phase. We're looking for a magic zone, avoiding the dark place. And we're planning a workout, so we're going to do 2 and 2, or 4 hit cardio if you're new. So 4 of these if you're new. And then any questions, you email me. And that's your beginner plan. Plan it out. Or if you're mixing it, or that's how we program it. And then I have those for you there. And then, where did I go? That's your hit strength. Done, dusted, yeah? Sound good? Give me some questions, guys. Let me get stuck in. John's saying, so if you are facing a piece of equipment and you reach forward and up with an overhand grip and pulling your body up as far as you can, that's for pull-ups. Yeah, so there's a couple of different variations of pull-ups. Do I have them on my... Let me see if I can pull up my social media, guys. And I'll show you. Because I think I have a couple of videos on it. Okay guys, so if I find, let me see, find the videos here, a pull-up. So if you're talking about this, I play this, get rid of that sound. So as you can see on this one, from a hanging position, John, this is your standard grip. Okay, so that's your standard pull-up grip. So full extension at the bottom. All right, you can keep a slight bend. You can go full extension, or you can keep a slight bend. Keeping a slight bend keeps tension on the lats. Okay, and then what you're going to do is essentially just going to drive up through, and that's the overhand grip. Okay, for an underhand grip, what you might do is other way around. So you can have the palms facing you, facing your face. But then what's going to happen is you're working a lot more bicep. So it depends what you want to develop. I'm a big fan of doing wide grip, but also doing close grip and underhand grip, and working through it. You said you went from doing 5 pull-ups to 20. What exercises did you do to increase your strength? I've been doing, so my workout generally tends to start with pull-ups and dips. So I'll literally, I think this was the third set in. If I do pull-ups fresh, I can get on the first set about 20. But generally I'll work with 4 sets of 10. So this was the second set, I think. So I think it was 8 to 10 on this, and then I was doing dips. So I did pull-ups, dips, then chin-up grip, pull-ups, dips, then inverted grip, pull-ups, dips, 8 to 10 on each, and work through that. So pretty much work through that. So I'll only get 1 set of 20. I'll only get 1 set of 20. So literally the rest of the time I'm getting about 10 to 12. But I was only, I was down to 4 or 5 pull-ups last year, or about 9 months ago, because I hadn't trained much back, but I've been doing a huge amount of back as well. Huge amount of backs, a lot of seated rows, a lot of lat pull down, a lot of single arm rows, a lot of different back variations to really develop my backs again. So it's best to start with 2 HIIT exercises per week for beginners. Yeah, 2 to 4 HIIT cardio per week, Angela, and then increase your activity. So make sure you're getting 10,000 steps per day. making sure you're taking the stairs instead of the elevator if you're in a building, trying to walk as much as possible, trying to cycle as much as possible, all that kind of stuff, yeah? Kenrick saying everything's straightforward and easy to follow, thanks. Okay, no problem. Are these only the HIIT cardio exercises? The first section were HIIT cardio, but when we went to squats and single leg butt squat, they were strength exercises, but in the exercise library I have them either listed as cardio or then strength exercises as well. I must rename them all actually, yeah. So it'll be cardio or strength, yeah? For HIIT cardio, we choose one exercise each session. Is it the same for HIIT strength? We alternate 2 or 3 exercises in one session. Yeah, like, I mean, for HIIT strength, I develop a lot of the main skills. So try and develop squats, try and develop press-ups, try and develop shoulder press, try and develop a lot of the main exercises. So your main exercises is your squat, your press-up, your bench press, your shoulder press, which you can do with dumbbells or a bag or water bottles, and kind of maybe something like a, let me see, let me grab some of the exercises. Let me show you actually. Good question. Good question. If I pull up video content and exercise library, and I drag this across to show you guys. So as you can see, I have cardio stuff, and then this will be all broken down in. We've a lot of the working on a lot of these exercises. I've put a lot of the main exercises that we can do body weight wise and weight ourselves. So alternate between these upper lower sessions. So if it's a lower body work, use lower body. Upper body session, do upper body. If you want to do a full body, then alternate different exercises every workout. So do if you're doing squats and press ups one workout, do lunges and shoulder press the next workout. Make sense? But it'll be all in your exercise library. Okay, a couple of minutes, guys. I'm going to wrap it up. Any last questions before I start loading up your exercise libraries? Everyone's saying, oh, good, great, nice lesson, really enjoyed it. I'm not missing it, am I, guys? I'll give you another minute or two because the system's always a little slower. Getting. For the drop set, there's no question there, Rainer. Do you mean, is there a follow-up to that? Great lesson, one excited to begin, Gustav Angela. Does hanging from a pull-up bar in a contracted position to help build up strength? Yes, it does. And you can also do negatives. So, let's say, do I still have it open? Yeah. Let's say you can't do pull-ups. Pull-ups are a great exercise. Let's say you can't do pull-ups. There's a step here in this. This is assisted pull-up machine, but I'm not using the assisted pull-up thing, okay? I'm just doing straight pull-ups. But if you were to do this, you can use an assisted pull-up machine, or you could use the step and jump up to the top position and then slowly lower yourself down. They're called negatives. So you're jumping up to the top and then you lower yourself as slow as possible. And then you will eventually get to the point where you can do the concentric, the pull up, and then the lowering down. So essentially you get to the top if you can't pull up first, and from there slowly lower, and then once you can do that, then you should develop the strength in there. Jackie's saying very interesting. Squat, lunges, push-ups, exactly, Rainage, yeah. You can do drop sets in them, yes. So you can do a weighted and then body weight, or a heavy weight and light weight. So whichever way. Robert saying excellent, thanks a mil. For 10 each mean how many sets of the same exercise? Let's say you're doing 10. You should be getting no more than 12 reps in 30 seconds. Really, well, no, you should be getting no more than 10 reps in 30 seconds if you're doing it right. 3 seconds per rep. Okay, so nice and steady. So you should be getting about 10 reps in 30 seconds. So let's say you do 10 squats, 10 lunges each leg, and then you rest 30 seconds. That whole entire set might take 2 minutes. So if you do that 10 times, then that'll take you 20 minutes. So about 10. 6 to 10 rounds if you're doing 2 to 3 exercises. Yeah? Perfect. Okay. Great stuff. Missed start. We'll catch up. No problem, Gordon. Guys, I'll give it 1 or 2 more minutes because there is questions coming in here. Is that another question on pull-ups? No, I answered that. Kenrick. Another good one is TRX rows, guys. TRX rows, if you have TRX rows, TRX in the gym, they're great. But also simple stuff like, look, if you're in a gym, guys, there are some exercises that are really, really good, like seated rows, inverted seated rows. So if we go with something like this, where you're doing an inverted seated row, this is going to help develop your back, your biceps, your posture, and you can really load the weight. So it's going to really help you. It's going to really help you. All right? Can I include things like ball slams and battle ropes and strength? They're a bit both strength and cardio. Yeah, you can. But I always say use them as like a cardio mix. So if you want to say do squats and ball slams as a workout. That's it. Or do squats, single leg, squats, lunges and ball slams and then rest. So put your like anaerobic-y type of cardio exercise at the end of your strength and then go on. Gordon saying, I've been given a used copy of the Body Doctor system. Any good? I've never heard of it, Gordon. Who does the Body Doctor system? Must check that out. I'm always interested in finding something else. Okay, guys, gonna wrap it up there. I gotta get stuff uploaded for you because I'm not here tomorrow because of our holiday weekend here in Ireland. Any questions, give me an email. You just have my email. Anyone new to this semester, give me like a half an hour to